You're watching the award-winning GHS-TV, a nationally recognized student television station.
Hello, and welcome to this special edition of Crosstalk. We are coming to you from the 70th Germantown Charity Horse Show. For the past 7 decades, competitors from all over the country have descended on Germantown to compete in one of the largest horse shows in the country.
We are your eyes and ears for this 5-day event, and today we are going to show you what makes the Germantown Charity Horse Show so special. We'll talk with some of the competitors and leaders of GCHS's Charity of Choice.
In addition, our reporter MIKAILA Smith is walking the grounds giving us an all-access pass. Hey MIKAILA.
Hey Rodney and Reyna. I'll be giving you an exclusive look at what goes on behind the scenes here at the horse show. I'm excited to be talking with a blacksmith, the horse show queen, and some young competitors, so stay tuned.
Thanks MIKAILA. We look forward to seeing all of the people that you meet.
And now it's time to get the show started. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the 70th Annual Germantown Charity Horse Show.
It's time for our first guest, who has been associated with the horse show for more than 40 years. Please welcome Bill Dudley, the president of the Germantown Charity Horse Show. Thank you, Mr. Dudley, for being here today.
Thank you so much for inviting me. We really appreciate the opportunity to visit with you today.
Well, like every great event, the Germantown Charity Horse Show started from a dream. Can you elaborate a little bit about how the horse show came to be?
Sure. As you know, Germantown used to be a very small place. A lot of people lived out here on farms and they had horses, and they would go fox hunting from their houses in this immediate area. And right after World War II, 1947, they were having some events. They said, well, we need to have a horse show. They did it 1 year, and then it became a great success, and they decided to turn it into a charity so that they would benefit the community every year going forward. And we've done so for the last 70 years. We've sponsored any number of charities. This year, our charity of choice is the Exchange Club Family Center.
Well, Mr. Dudley, you have an interesting story on how you got involved with the horse show. Can you share that with us?
I sure can. We used to live in Greenville, Mississippi, and we took our daughter to the circus, and I think she was about 5 years old. And after the circus was over with, as you went out the gate, they had these various booths where you sold cotton candy and things like that. Then they had a ring of little Shetland ponies, and she said to me, Daddy, Daddy, can I ride the pony? Please let me ride the pony. And I said, sure, what can it hurt? And so that started us on the end of the horse business, and we stayed in it for many, many years until she went off to college. And I think one of the thing that really got me involved with the Germantown Charity Horse Show was the time she won her first blue ribbon here at this show. And it's been a very special memory for me ever since. And we've gotten involved with the horse show primarily for several reasons, not the least of which is the fact that we do support charities in the Memphis area. Secondly, it's a great event for families. We come visit our friends, and we see people from year to year. It's just a wonderful opportunity.
Well, the horse show is one of the largest of its kind in the country. What makes it a can't-miss event for horse enthusiasts?
Well, that's a great question. This, unlike most horse shows, is an all-breed horse show. We have hunters and jumpers, and there's some going on right now behind us. We also have saddlebreds, walking horses, gypsy veiners, carriage classes, pasafinos, speed rackers. We've got basically something for everyone. So people come from different areas of the horse world to be here to compete against each other and to learn from the other breeds. It's very different.
Well, a lot of man hours going to pulling off a show this size. Talk about the diversity among your volunteers that help make this show possible.
Oh my gosh, you know, you've hit on the key issue is the volunteer area. We've got people that we do, for example, we do exhibitor dinners 2 nights a week. Well, although Outback Steakhouse does that for us, it takes about 10 people to man it, to have refreshments and clean up and serving. We have people that work on grounds. We have people that work on just the logistics of getting out all the ribbons and trophies. It's countless man hours, not only during the show, but also throughout the whole year. And we have, of course, fundraising, and that is a huge effort to go out and raise sponsorship dollars. So we have probably 25 or 30 people work on that at any given time throughout the year. So it's almost, you know, you name it, and we've got people working on it. Publicity, advertising, just on and on and on. Travel arrangements for our judges and our exhibitors, and just things of that nature. It's a huge job. It really is. And we've got about 120 members, and I think they probably do about 300 members worth of work.
GCHS is doing a lot to mark its 70th year anniversary. I know that it has placed 70 decorated horseshoes all over the town for people to find. What other fun things are you doing?
Well, wasn't that a fun thing, the horseshoes? By the way, you may have noticed, and you can see in the background, Wells Fargo Stagecoach is here for our nightly entertainment. We had a parade yesterday, and they exhibited last night. This is one of the, as I understand it, the one time that we have had 2 stagecoaches in one place for 5 nights ever with Wells Fargo. Tremendous opportunity. We've got special recognition for our past princesses and queens and presidents coming up, and you know, and a bunch of things like that that have just been a lot of fun to do.
Well, the horse show has a long-standing tradition of helping the community. Last year alone, the horse show gave more than $1.7 million to the community. Where does all of that money go?
Well, that $1.7 million is the contribution that we make to the local economy. It's hotels, it's gasoline, it's food, it's people that are here that have some spare time, they go to the movies, they go shopping, things of that nature. But our profits do go to the Exchange Club Family Center, and we're probably their major sponsor right now.
Well, this year, Bobby Lanier, the executive director, is getting a big honor for his years of service. Can you talk a little bit about his legacy and his impact on the horse show?
Bobby Lanier has been absolutely the foundation rock of this show for about 20 years. He knows, if you know Bobby Lanier, he's the ultimate Southern gentleman. He knows everybody, he knows them well, and he can get a lot of things done just by talking to his friends, and he does that. He does a tremendous job about that. But he has built a foundation for us to be able to get things done through our volunteers, through donors, through sponsors, through all kinds of people, just by being very, very kind to them, very nice to them, and it's a lesson learned to how to deal with people. He is a tremendous asset to not only the Germantown Charity Horse Show, but also to Shelby County, a tremendous man.
Well, Mr. Dudley, thank you so much for being here today, and congratulations again on 70 years.
Thank you so much, and thank you again for inviting us. We appreciate your being here.
Coming up, we'll delve into the charity aspect of the horse show.
But first, reporter MIKAILA Smith is out on the grounds. Hey, MIKAILA.
Hey, Reyna and Rodney. I'm here with Paul Doris, a blacksmith at the Germantown Charity Horse Show. Hey, Paul, how are you today?
I'm doing really well. How are you doing?
I'm good. So what brought you into being a blacksmith?
Well, it's a family business. We've had a farrier in our family since 1878. I've got cousins. I also own and operate a school that teaches horseshoeing also.
So how many years have you been a blacksmith?
44 years. I started back in 1973. I went to school at Oregon State University, and then went into the family business from there.
So what is your personal process of creating a horseshoe?
Well, you've got to assess the horse, balance how it walks and everything, and then you've got to trim the horse accordingly and prep the feet, set the feet up for a shoe, and then you measure, and you either shape a keg shoe or a factory shoe, or if you make a handmade shoe, then you have to measure and cut the steel, and then build a shoe to fit the horse.
So does it hurt to put the horseshoe onto the horse?
No, it's an insensitive tissue. It's like your fingernail. If you do it properly, it's not a problem. It's just like your fingernails. If you get a little bit too short, your fingers will be sore. If you get a splinter under your fingernail, it'll hurt just like a nail. So it's but we rarely have problems. We do this a lot, and it's rarely have problems.
So do you work on anything else other than horseshoes, Paul?
Yeah, I do some ornamental stuff as a hobby. I also work on exotic animals some. That's kind of like one of my likes. I'd like to do things that I haven't done. Anything with hooves on it, I like to work on it.
So how many years have you been coming to the Germantown Charity Horse Show?
About 15 years. I think 15 years I've been coming.
And what brings you back every year?
Well, I shoe over this area. This is a lot of my clients around here, and it's kind of a service to my clients, and I enjoy it, and I enjoy the atmosphere of the show, you know.
Well, thank you so much, Paul, for being on the show.
Thank you very much, MIKAILA.
Reyna and Rodney, back to you.
Thanks, MIKAILA. We'll check back in with you later.
For nearly 20 years, the Germantown Charity Horse Show has supported the Exchange Club Family Center, donating proceeds from the horse show every year. Here to talk about this great partnership is Jennifer BALINK, Executive Director for the Exchange Club, and Greg POHLMAN, President of the Exchange Club Family Center. Thank you both so much for being here.
Morning. Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Well, before we talk about the partnership, Ms. BALINK, tell us about the Exchange Club Family Center's mission and why it was created in 1982.
The Exchange Club Family Center was created to do something simple and complicated, which is to end family violence in our community. We work with children and adults who struggle with violence inside their homes to stop that from happening right now and to keep it from happening again in the future.
Mr. POHLMAN, how does the Exchange Club help build healthy relationships in work, homes, and schools?
Well, we work with both the children and the parents to help them heal and help with the domestic violence and how they can find a different way to express their anger or deal with their anger management.
Well, the Exchange Club offers many services, including anger management classes, therapy, and parenting support. How do those specific classes help children and heal families? Ms. BALINK?
Well, you know, one of the things that can be hard for families and for people in general is resolving conflict without anger and violence. You know, when you are upset with somebody, what to do and how not to make it worse. We work with children and families who struggle with that in particular, and who, if you've ever heard a preschool teacher talk to a young child about use your words instead of using your hands, we help folks in that similar kind of philosophy to resolve things that they can't resolve on their own. So that's our anger management program for both children and adults. We have clinical programs that help both children and adults who have been either victims of violence in the home or who have witnessed violence or who have in fact been the aggressors in acts of violence, who learned that behavior from their parents or from watching somebody else. And so we teach them new ways to relate to the people that they love and care about.
Mr. POHLMAN, this year marks 20 years of being Germantown Charity Horse Show's charity of choice. How did this partnership come about?
Well, first of all, we were very fortunate to be here for 20 years, and we're very pleased for the horse show to allow us to do this for 20 years. What happened 20 years ago was a board member of the Exchange Club was Dan West, and he was also the president of the horse show. And back then, the horse show president was the one that got to choose the charity. Well, for some reason, they've continued to use us, and we're just pleased to do that. I think that they appreciate what we're doing, they appreciate our mission, and we've actually shown some volunteers here, and I think they love our partnership, and we're thrilled with the partnership.
Well, is there a ballpark figure of how much money the horse show has raised to date? Where does all of that money go to?
I'm glad we're all sitting down. Through this partnership with the horse show, we've over $750,000. And see, the applause happened at just the right time. There you go. It's been a terrific partnership in every way, including financially. The monies that are raised help support families who cannot pay for clinical services on their own. So those anger management classes and clinical therapies, we provide services for folks who can't pay for those themselves through the help of this partnership. So we also, as Mr. POHLMAN said, we bring volunteers out here to work the horse show, and it helps have conversations about the work that we do, because family violence isn't limited to a zip code or an economic class or any neighborhood in the community. It's really everywhere, and so that helps us get the message out.
Well, besides money, how does the horse show help support the Exchange Club?
Well, the Exchange Club, as I mentioned before, we've had a board member on the Exchange Club for at least 20 years that I know of. And obviously they have supported monetarily and also served on our boards.
Well, if someone wanted to donate or get involved with the Exchange Club Family Center, how would one go about doing so?
The easiest way to find out more information is through our website, exchangeclub.net. Exchangeclub.net. Right now we are in the process of changing that. More to come this summer. We'll have news this summer. But information about making a donation to one of our programs or to partnering with us to help do volunteer activities like Help the Horse Show.
How has being a part of the Exchange Club affected your life?
You know, as a parent of 2 teenage children, I've learned that parenting is not as easy as it looks on TV. Would you say that's true? Having raised 2 children, and sometimes there are things that you can get help through your friends and your church and network, and sometimes parents need more help or children need more help. And so learning that resource is there has really been comforting to me, to learn that exists.
You know, one of the things that I've heard many times, I have 3 children, and I've always heard that parents don't come with a manual, and it's very hard, and you're in the middle of a situation, and a lot of times you wish you had an idea of how to fix it or how to deal with something, and this is what we try to do. We try to help people do that.
Well, that's all the time we have, but thank you both so much for sharing all of your knowledge with us today.
Thank you so much for having us.
Still to come, we'll look at what it takes to train for the Charity Horse Show.
Now, let's check back in with reporter MIKAILA Smith, who is with this year's Horse Show Queen. MIKAILA, take it away.
Here with me now is BEBE Chancellor, this year's Queen of the Germantown Charity Horse Show. Hi, first off, congratulations.
Thank you.
And so could you tell us about this honor and what it means to you?
Yeah, so I'm this year's queen, and really what it means to me is being able to carry on like a family tradition, and something that's very important to my family is this horse show, and honestly to like the whole city of Germantown. My aunt was queen a few years back, as was my dad's stepsister, so it just kind of runs in the family, and it's great to be able to carry on that tradition.
So what are some of your responsibilities during the horse show?
Yeah, so in the morning I run to Chick-fil-A and grab a bunch of drinks for everyone who works here. And then we'll go deliver those. And then for lunch, I'll go grab everyone's lunches. Today it was from Sunset Grill. And then go deliver those. And some nights I'll go grab dinner, and then I'll be here all throughout the night presenting awards, giving out trophies and ribbons. And then I'll parade around the ring in the Camaro, and my dad will drive, and I'll just sit back and wave.
So what are some of your duties after the show is over?
Yeah, so there will be a parade around the holidays at the end of the year that I'll be a part of, but a lot of my responsibility will came at the beginning of the year. So I had a mother-daughter tea with all the princesses, and then we also have a father-daughter cookout in May. We have a fashion show with the Pegasus, and that sponsors the Exchange Club, and we model a bunch of clothes from the Saddle Creek stores, and then we have the horse show.
So how did you get involved in the horse show?
Yeah, my grandfather was president a few years back, and he's been involved for a really long time, as well as his wife. And so her daughter was queen, and then my Aunt Liz was queen, and I was princess about 3 years ago. My sister was a princess a year ago, so now I'm queen.
So what is one thing you look forward to at the show?
Definitely spending time with my family. This is one of the places where we all get together. And then tonight actually is the Gambler's Choice, which is my favorite event of the whole thing. But yeah, just like sitting back and watching everything take place.
Well, thank you, BEBE, for talking with us.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you.
Rodney and Reyna, back to you.
Thanks, MIKAILA. As you can imagine, the competitors and trainers put in a lot of time preparing for a competition of this size. Joining us to talk more about this process are 2 horse show competitors, Margaret Rainey and Christoph Schroeder. Thank you both for being here today.
Thank you. Well, before we go into what it takes to train for a competition of this size, tell us, how did you both get into the sport? Margaret, we'll start with you.
I started riding when I was 7. Both my parents rode as kids, so I started just as a hobby, and it has stuck with me for almost 20 years. So it's just kind of become ingrained as part of my life.
Mr. Schroeder, what about you?
Yeah, the same for me. I grew up in Germany. I'm a German originally, and I started probably at the age of 4. My grandfather had horses back over there. Everybody has a little farm and horses in the backyard together with his cows, and basically we started in a pony club, and I never wanted to do anything else.
Well, what all goes into training for a horse show? Margaret, I'm pretty sure it's more than people may think.
It is a little bit more. He might know better. I'm an amateur, not a professional, but it's a lot about the bond between the horse and the rider, a lot of fitness, and there's also a lot of mental component that goes into show jumping, and especially at a higher level, it's a very mental sport as much as physical.
Christoph?
Yeah, I just totally agree to that. And then it's basically, if you think of the horse, you want to think like a professional football player or a professional basketball player, and they need fitness, and they need a good doctor, and they need to be sound, and they need to be mentally fit and happy. They need to be very well cared for, and you need to build up, for sure, trust, right? Like, and then it's a pair. Like it's a team sport. Like you have to bond with your horse, and they have to like you, and you have to like them, and it's like almost like competitive dancers or whatever you want to call it. It's like they need to be on your side. If they don't want to do it, they don't want to do it.
Well, Christoph, what influenced you to choose this path?
It's kind of a funny question. No, I kind of always wanted to do it. Like I was impressed with it from the beginning on, from the get-go, and my parents weren't professionals, so basically I'm here, you would compare it to a pony clubber, and I was just intrigued by it, and kind of wanted to do it, and wanted to do it as good as possible.
Margaret, what about you?
Well, this is not my full-time job. I just graduated from law school, so I'm a lawyer by trade, and I just keep coming back to the horses. I just do it for fun. It's more of a hobby for me, but I've tried to do other sports, and horses are just it for me. So I keep coming back to the sport.
If I may say something, that's probably the very smarter way to do and think about it. Get a real job first and then do horses if you can.
You have a real job too, but.
Well, Christoph, as you know, the horse show is celebrating 70 years this week. How did you first hear about the horse show?
Well, we tried to come here the last couple of years. We're in Knoxville, Tennessee over the summers. In the winters, we're in Wellington, Florida. So basically, we always wanted to come. And I think like horse shows like this, you compare it a little bit. I mean, it's a different level. Maybe not really like Devon horse show. I like the old traditional horse shows. And we always wanted to do it, and luckily we made it out here.
Margaret, what about you?
My trainer, Michael Tuckeruck, is from the Collierville area, and he encouraged me to come with him this year. But I've also always heard that Germantown's a really special horse show, like you said. I mean, you have more of a fan base here than I think a lot of North American horse shows, for sure. But you get a good turnout for the Grand Prix, and you have cool ribbons, and there's a lot that goes into it to making it a special horse show.
Well, Christoph, this is not your first year competing. Out of your whole experience, what has been your favorite memory competing with the Germantown Charity Horse Show?
We just like to travel and see different places. I mean, we've done some international shows. We showed over in Europe. That's for sure part of it. We did some World Cup qualifiers. We did some global champion tours. So it's like, no, I like different places and different atmospheres. But I like people watching, and you want atmosphere, and that's probably what kind of makes you do it over and over again. If it works out between you and your horse, and you jump a good round, and you have people who enjoy it and watch it.
Margaret, as an amateur jumper rider, what do you expect the horse show to be like?
I mean, I expect it to be a good atmosphere for the horses and for the competitors. It's really important that they provide a good facility for the horses, good footing and good stabling. But this will be my first Grand Prix this weekend, and I'm excited to do that because I know that Germantown has such good fan base, and you do get spectators that come out, so it makes it a special experience.
Margaret, as a law school graduate, how does this equestrian sport tie into other aspects of your life?
I think growing up as an equestrian gave me a lot of discipline early on. A lot of work ethic goes into the sport, and it really was the foundation that I built my professional career on. So it really has kind of molded me into the lawyer that I hope to be going forward.
Well, we have to end it right there. Unfortunately, we've run out of time, but thank you both so much for being here today.
Before we go, let's check in one more time with reporter MIKAILA Smith, who is with another competitor. Hey, MIKAILA.
Hey guys, I'm here with Reagan Habib and Maggie DIXON. And Reagan's this is her second year competing, and this is Maggie's first year competing. So, Reagan, first, how long have you been competing at the Germantown Charity Horse Show?
This is my first year competing at the Germantown Charity Horse Show.
And what about you, Maggie?
This is my second year competing at the Germantown Charity Horse Show.
And so, what classes have you competed in, Reagan?
Well, I started on Tuesday with the 2-3 and the Children Pony Hunters. I did the 2-3 and the Children Pony Hunters yesterday, and today I did the equitation on the flat.
And what about you, Maggie?
I did the, okay, so Monday, I think I did the 2-3, 2 foot, and then Tuesday, 2-3, 2 foot, and then Wednesday, 2 foot, 2-6, and 2-3. And I do not show today because this is Whimsy's break.
What has been your favorite part of the horse show so far?
My favorite part of the German Charity was probably how everything's organized and set up. It's a really nice facility.
And what about you, Maggie? What's your favorite part?
I like how I get to spend a lot of time here and with my horse, and I like how all the responsibilities that we get to do, because it's more than just like harvest time or springtime in Dixie. It's like you have to do a lot because it is the whole week.
Well, this is my first A show, and all the schooling shows I've done haven't been this big, and I haven't been able to watch other people ride because it's just like little segments. Like, it's just a really short one-day show. This is a week-long show, so I get to see more people ride.
And how is this show different for you, Maggie?
Well, I get more time, and I think that I like the warm-up days the best because I get more time to focus, and for the big days that I show, which is tomorrow and Friday, and Saturday, is because it's better, and I just like it a lot.
That's it for the special Crosstalk edition. We'd like to thank all of our guests for being on the show today and helping us celebrate 70 great years.
We hope to see you again next year for the 71st Germantown Charity Horse Show. And we'll see you again in the fall when an all-new season of Crosstalk returns. Till then, I'm Reyna Katko.
And I'm Rodney Mckinner. From all of us here at GHS-TV, thank you for watching Crosstalk.